Hi everyone. I've been doing a little piece of art on an index card every day. The only point of this exercise is making art every day. This particular card, this was made with Tombow brush or dual tip markers and water, so it kind of runs. So they're water-based markers. This was day 2. I used the word joy. Again, these colors behind are Tombows, where I colored on a plastic bag and sprayed it and made it look more like a watercolor background. This was made with Tombow brush pens again, and I just did stripes and random designs. Most of these pieces of art took me less than 10 minutes. This is a collage that I made. I just happen to really love this one. I made this with big bold black writing, and I did do a video on this, and I was gonna say it's watercolor, but let's see. Yeah, acrylic and watercolor. So this is acrylic, the rest of this is watercolor. This is a non-dominant hand drawing. This was something on my desk and then I added a little collage. So this is my non-dominant hand drawing an ink bottle that was on my desk. I happen to love this, even though it's so wonky and weird. This was another collage also made with these cards that I did the big bold writing on. And I just put some deli paper that had paint all over it. And this word's Hearts on Fire because this reminded me of fire. This is some stamping that I made. So ink and stamps that I made that I just, and literally that took me way less than 5 minutes. This is a neurographic art piece that I did with neurographic art pens, and I colored it in with Tombow brush tip markers. This was a one staple piece of art. So you put everything together, hold it together with one staple. And what I loved most about this one was the saying back here, which is anything that comes in through the senses is also regarded as food for the body and therefore affects one's mental, emotional, and physical health. We forget, I think, sometimes that all these things, even art, the beauty of art, not art, that affects us. My next ones were interactive. So this is a card. This is a tiny zine that I made with an index card. So I folded it so that it would create this zine on the front. It's got the word courage, then live. This is all painting and some stickers that I made that I put in there. Imagine and beautiful. And then this is one of those stickers that I made. So I love this because I wanted it to be interactive. I used an index card and I made a small zine and I thought it was cool. So all that matters is that we like what we made, really. My next one, I decided I was on a roll with that one. So this one is a concertina book. So this is what it looks like. I created it and then I cut, again, I have a video on this. I cut it 3/4 of the way after I folded it. And I made this concertina book. So here's my book. It's about circles. And I just glued, it's just a collage of circles that I punched out. They are all index cards, by the way. I used index cards for this. And that's the end of that. It was just a different and creative way to use the index card. And that's kind of what I liked about it. This one was ink blobs, and when it came out it looked like a cat, so that's what I created here with ink blots. This was a map of sorts, but it was supposed to be a map. Ooh, do I love this. This was mono printing with a tea bag. So I took a tea bag, it was damp, and I painted on it and I used it to mono print on this card. This is a bunch of scraps that I cut up and I wove them together to make this basket weave. Loved that too. This was me experimenting with red colors. This day I didn't know what to do, so I swatched my lei pens that I have. So I have some flex tip lei pens. They're fun to write with, all different colors. So I swatched them and then I just wrote different numbers in the alphabet across the card. And that was my art for the day. Some days that's the best you can do. This one is one of my top favorites. I made a cupcake with oil pastels. Gosh, I really loved this. I have this taped on here to keep the cards from being affected by the oil pastels. I was afraid it would rub off on the other cards. So that's the only purpose of that. But I really, really love this. Just simple design and playing with pastels. This one is Tombow brush pens and a Uni Signo pen, and it was just designs. I ended up loving this one. It's acrylic ink and water. It was a flower and a vase. Then I got what I felt was in a funk maybe, or I felt a little uninspired. So I started punching with my hole punch. I started punching things out. These are all jelly prints or art that I've made, and I took colors or things that I had that I liked them, and I just made a swatch card with those. And I liked that so much, and I had punched out a bunch, that the second day I decided to make another swatch card with the circles and the jelly prints. All of these are jelly prints. I loved that. Then, still uninspired, I decided to make lists that matter to me. So this list is things I do to get ready for art. So I light a candle, I write my heart out, I ask for guidance, I breathe to expand my thinking, I might take a walk in nature, I stretch for 5 minutes, I listen to ocean wave sounds. I love that sound, it just relaxes me. And I flip through my old journals. Those are all things that inspire me. Doesn't mean I do them all at once, by the way. And then the next one I did was also another list, and this is ways I improve my autoimmune health. So I decrease junk food by increasing healthy foods. I never say I'm not going to ever eat something. I just kind of weed it out. So by eating more of the healthy stuff, I find that the junk food disappears. And that has been my motto for a really long time, and that has helped me. 2, I find movies, books that make me laugh. 3, I discovered what's working, and I do more of that. So is it making art? Is it dancing? Is it, being outside? Whatever that may be. I find time to pray or meditate. In whatever way you want to use that, it works really well for me. So I sit down and I take time for myself and I go inward. That's basically what I'm saying here. I explore my beliefs. So I have challenged many of my limiting beliefs because I wanted to be more hopeful. These autoimmune diseases, the doctors can leave you not feeling very hopeful. And I realized early on that my mindset mattered more than absolutely anything I could do. So the answer to that is to be as healthy as you can right before those stressful moments happen, so you can stay healthy and not have those things happen. I find the good in everything. So even when things are tough and things are bad, I look for the good in whatever it is. That might sound crazy or whatever, but there's good in everything. Nothing's as black and white as we think it is. Number 8, I check my mindset, make sure that my mindset is not in one of those, oh, this is just how it is, and negative thinking. And number 9, I do something nice for someone else. So that's my list. So I'm still not feeling into it. And this particular day, I used more Tombows, and I just did squares of design with my Tombows. Again, still looking for some direction. This one says, point me in the direction, and I just did arrows, and I didn't even bother to color them in. That was my 5 minute of art. And then I started doing collages. Do I love to collage? This one is a collage, all magazine pieces, except for this is one of those stickers that I made myself. And this is the last day. This was what I could come up with, another collage, again with these stickers that I made and magazine cutouts. If you're interested in knowing how I did any of these, leave a comment below and I'll be sure to let you know. Thanks for being here, everybody.